So again, warm welcome from my side and good morning to everyone. Welcome to this SAP community call about the add-on installation process and simulation tool. Today, I'm Svea Becker. My name is Svea Becker. I'm part of the SAP community team, and I have a great speaker today with me again. It's Masumi Mugadam, also called Mahin. She's working at SAP as a development project expert and program management. And in program management. And since 2015, she's driving the project ABAP add-on uninstallation enablement. And yeah, Mahin, welcome to the call. I'm really happy having you with me today. And you can start your presentation. And if anyone would like to ask a question in between, it's possible. Just hover over your name and raise your hand, then I can unmute you. And then you can interrupt Mahin to ask the question. She agreed with that up front. So Mahin, the stage is yours.
Thank you very much. Hello, everybody. I'm very happy to be here and present this topic add-on uninstallation process and enablement and how you can accelerate it. So let me share my screen first. So I hope that you can see my screen.
Yes.
Okay, very good. Yeah, my name is Masumi Mugadam. I come from Iran, and Iran we have from the beginning two names, one for the ID and the other for calling. So that is the reason that I have two first name, and this is the Mahin that I can answer to you then. I'm very happy to present this topic that our team started in 2013. I'm part of OCS team. It is Online Correction Support Team. And it is very interesting that we have started with add-on uninstallation enablement before that. It was very urgent because of the S/4HANA conversion. As you may know, you have the possibility to install add-on in the past, and it was not possible to uninstall it anymore. And it was only one way. You had it for a whole life. And we go through the slides and the agenda, and I will tell you what we are planning to talk about it today. So the next note is hanging again. Okay. As always, I want to show you the disclaimer that it is everything that we are talking about, it is subject to change and it is also confidential. So that's, I think that you may be familiar with that. The agenda is about the motivation, why we have started enabling add-on uninstallation, which progress we have done since 2013 till now, and especially since 2015. And later on, how the simulation tool is working, what are our recommendations for you, and where you can get some support and documentation. And of course, we have reserved some time for the questions. And as I have said to Svea, sometimes it is so that you have some burning question and you cannot concentrate to the following that I'm talking about it. So please just raise your hand and then we can interrupt and ask the question and answer it hopefully. So let's go to the motivation. What are the motivation for it? In 2013, the OCS team has started because of the by design product to think about it, how we can uninstall one add-on. And at that time, they have started with very small add-on to test it and then to prepare and enable it. And later on, it was continued, and it was good that we have started in 2013 because later on there came the big other requests about it. For example, different reason that you can have for uninstalling an add-on is the add-on is not updated by SAP or partner anymore, or it is not licensed by customer. For example, the customer put it in the test system just for testing purposes, and they don't want to use it anymore. The add-on is not getting supported because it is out of maintenance, and because of that you may have some security issues, which is not good for your system. And at the end, the most prominent reason is that the add-on is blocking the S/4HANA conversion. So then you need to uninstall it. In 2015, we have set up a project in our team, in OCS team, and started to prepare the uninstallation for add-ons. And it is not just setting a flag, because when you have installed the add-on, it is some rollout in your system. There are some data and tables and table entries, and also the coding and everything should be cleaned up and then removed from the system. So you need to analyze each add-on for itself. You cannot say, you cannot having something generic for all of add-ons. And with this motivation, we have started this project since 2015. We have this project and they are driving it, and we make also some progress. That is we are very lucky about it, that since then it is more than 700 add-ons which are already enabled. It is around 23% that are already enabled for installation. And we have still many of them which are not enabled, because we have some time limits in our team. Of course, we cannot do the 2,000 add-on enablement in parallel. So we came up with the idea that we should maintain something or provide some tools which provide the automation in the process. The process was that you need a test system where your add-on is really installed and not just available per transport, like in the landscape that we have for the development system. That after the development system, you have a test system and you can just push the transport there. It is not enough, unfortunately. You need a real installation in your system. And with this, when we had this system, we needed to provide many manual steps to prepare the system that the simulation of the uninstallation could be run, which was also very time consuming. And we thought, okay, it would be great if you can prepare something. I will come also to later thing. We can provide some simulation tool. Another progress that we have in this uninstallation enablement project is it is now ongoing project. It is the customers have possibility to influence on it. They can, for example, create a ticket and ask the add-on component owner to provide them some uninstallation. It is the add-on uninstallation is mandatory for partner add-on certification since 2-3 years. And the uninstallation itself is a requirement for new add-ons in product standards in life cycle, software life cycle. And we are supporting from our team, from OTS team, the add-ons owner who have some blocking add-on in S/4HANA conversion. So I was talking about the simulation tool. Why we have started to think about it was because the simulation was very time consuming and it was very manual step, which was repeating in each project. So in the developer world, when you repeat two or three times something, you just think about to provide a program and then make it some automation there. We have in our wiki page, which is only internal for our add-on owner teams in SAP, provided the necessary steps to go through. It is around 26 steps, and many of them could be bundled in the simulation tool, which we are going through it later on, and then I will show you how it works. So we could save time, and in the other hand, we could also give the responsibility to add-on owner teams that they can have this possibility to run the simulation on their own, and then for the consultant come back to us. And how it is working is there is a simulation, there's a transaction in the system that you are having your add-on, you can run it, and then later on it will preparing the test system and analyze the piece list of the add-on and generating the plugin class which needs to be handled later on. Just some word about how the installation is working. The installation process is going through your object list, and that it is delivered with the for example, in support package, or from the beginning with the initial package, and analyze whether everything that you have in this facility is belonging to your add-on. If it is in this way, then it is everything fine, and we have no issue. We can remove things. But if you have some objects which is belonging to other software components, and you are writing in tables which is also belonging to other software components, then they will get some error during the uninstallation, or you have some list that you need to handle it. And later on, you have the possibility to create a plugin class in your system. And with considering this plugin class, you can decide whether it is to be this element should be ignored or deleted in your system, because sometimes the other application are on the other add-on, and you cannot remove all of the interest because it is used in other cases. And we can also here have some break for your questions. If you have any other questions that till now, we can address it now. If not, we can continue and go to the test system and then find out how it is working. As I mentioned, when you have a system where the add-on is installed, then you can go to this transaction sim uninst. It is available since SPAM 74. And if you don't have the latest SPAM version in your system, you need to upgrade it to the latest version. It would be the best, because in the SAND, that is the tool with which you can install the add-ons, and also the uninstallation is possible there. I can also show you in the system, for example, when we have a list of all add-ons which are installed in your system. And since a while, we have also the tab, which is uninstallable components. And if the components are already enabled and available for the uninstallation, you can see it. For the older add-ons, you have the possibility that you create an ACP attribute change package, and it should be also installed in the implemented in the system. And for the new add-ons, which are from the beginning enabled for uninstallation, there would be just part of the attribution. And it is from the beginning in your system as an uninstallable components. So, for example, one of these add-ons that we want to see how is the uninstallation enablement situation for it is ISOCS test. And if I go to the simulation of the add-on uninstallation, I see it also here. That is the list of all installed add-on in the system, and the releases and the support package level, their description. And this column shows you what is the simulation status. When you have this flag, that means that is already finished. And when it's nothing here, then you can also start the uninstallation simulation. This is the uninstallation node where you can get every information that it is necessary for your system before you started the uninstallation. It is very important to have a look there first. And here at the moment, we don't have anything provided. It is just a simulation. So we can start, we can mark this add-on and then say simulate. The simulation tool now provides some background job. At the end, it comes with some, for example, objects, which is this time function group or program or table entry, or some logical transport object, which is excla in this way, in this part. And we have also the proposal for them. Because from the SAP side, from the OCS side, we know what could be that if it is better to ignore it or it is better to delete it because it is used somewhere else. So we can give some proposal. And the user has the possibility to accept this proposal or to change it later on. For this, we need to go to the change mode here by clicking this. And then you can say, take over proposals. So everything that is here will be copied here. Here you have still the possibility to say, okay, that is not what I want to delete it. It means that when you're running the uninstallation, then this function group will be deleted from the system. Or in this case, it will stay in the system. It is ignored, the operation. And later on, we can say, okay, now simulate again. And then with this simulation, you have the possibility to go to the summary, where you get more information, what is the result of this simulation. And with it, we will complete the uninstallation simulation. In this result, you see that it was successfully finished. There were no issues. And there are some summaries here that you can have some hints how to handle it further for making the add-on uninstallable. For this component, there were no other components which has some dependency with it. So because if you have an add-on which is used by another add-on and you want to delete it, then it is not possible because otherwise you have some lag in your system and the other add-on cannot work anymore. So we will also check the dependency of the other components in this part, and if something is there, you will see it. And then we have the list of the objects that we have decided what to do with them. This is the function group that we have said we want to delete it, and this is the proposal of the tool itself. It is written here. And then we get the actions to make the add-on uninstallable here. First of all, you need, for example, for the logical transport objects. It is possible for the SAP, or you should contact us. We have also later on some distribution list for the internal colleague. And for the external partner or customer, we will have another possibility to get information from them, which object is needed to be added to our internal tables. In the SPAN, that is the software upgrade manager system, we have this possibility to enhance our tables. So then with the next SPAN version, which is each year we have 3 different SPAN versions which is released to customer, and it is coming with the SL tool set. And when we get, for example, some request or requirement that this object should be added to our internal table, we will analyze it in our team, and if it is okay, we can set it as a delete operation in our system, in the internal tables. The other possibility would be that you enhance your plugin class and say, okay, it is for the beginning, for the time being of this time, it is ignore, and later on with the next SPAN version will be deleted. And here you have the coding which was generated for this object for the plugin class. And you can just copy paste it and put it in the template that we have in our team, in our SPAN. It is CLOCS plugin template. You can copy this template, and later on you can enhance or replace the get object classification method by this coding that you can see here. And but it is not everything. Later on, you need, of course, other actions. For example, you need to document your uninstallation process. And for this, we have some template node for add-on uninstallation, that you can use it as template and create a new node and explain everything that you need in this node. For example, if you need to archive something, what are the pre-step before you start? And the other part that is very important is to create an attribute. That is attribute change package for installation package or this support package for the add-on. For example, for this add-on, we need to contact the delivery assembler colleague and ask them to provide some attribute which is called deinstalled allowed, and you need the number of this node that you have provided already to give them, and later on also the plugin class attribute with the name of the plugin class. As you may see, it is a very complicated and long-lasting. It is not just, as I mentioned, just one flag that you set and say, okay, this add-on is uninstallable now. And our team, OCS team, is always at your side if you have any questions or you need anything that we can support you. Is there any question till now regarding this?
No, Mahin, there's no question at the moment.
Okay.
Thank you.
So, very welcome. So we can continue with our presentation and what are our recommendations for it, for making an add-on from the beginning uninstallable. Wait a minute, I need to set duplicate. Okay. It is very important that you consider the installation throughout add-on development lifecycle, and just from the beginning, and not think that it would be better that I develop everything and at the end I can make the add-on uninstallable. It is more work and it is also more difficult for everybody. You have less work if you do it from the beginning. And the one very important limitation that we have is that we cannot make it uninstallable if an add-on is modifying add-on. Because we don't know where the add-on has already modified something and we cannot roll back everything. And it is very important if you have, for example, a partner add-on or you're a partner now and you're hearing this session, that you activate your object list check in the assembly, during the assembly. If you're a developer, it is very important that you have the DAO query check in your system activated in the development and correction system. And it is also recommendable to test the uninstallation feasibility with the simulation tool from the beginning. Of course, we give also some support and documentations here. For the customers, we can create a ticket for application component of add-on and ask them whether they can provide you some uninstallation if it is not available anymore yet. There are also other documentation that you can see here. For example, we have this help in the ARCA, that is the add-on assembly kit, and you can read everything about this simulation tool there. We can go also later on to it. And there is 2 blogs from Karin Spiegel, our product management colleague, and she has provided also some interesting insights here. If you are a partner, we have another possibility to create a ticket, which is, I can write it later on in the chat if you need it for the partner add-ons. And if you are a SAP colleague, you have possibility to write us directly to this DL that you can see here. And the other things is the internal message component. That is the component for our tool send. And we have a wiki page where you can see everything, every steps that which are needed for the enablement of the add-on uninstallation. We have also in ARCA again the plugin interface, how you should implement it. And also uninstalling above add-on is another wiki page. What we can do is to go shortly to this card. here you can see that we have the part of simulation of an add-on installation. You have description of everything that you can see in the initial screen, what you can do, what is the uninstallation node, what is the plugin class, and you can go further and set the filter and everything else is also written here. Do you have any questions or any vicious remark? Yeah, do you hear me?
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't get.
Whether there is any.
Yeah, I'm sorry. So far, there is no question. So you have two possibilities to ask a question. First of all, you can raise your hand when you hover over your name, and then I can unmute you. Or secondly, you can just use the Q&A functionality of Zoom when you hover over the menu of Zoom. It may be at the top of your screen or at the bottom. And then you can simply write your question.
Yep.
Thanks very much for the presentation, Mahin. I saw that you have mentioned Karin here in the and the blog post. So I have also added the community profile from Karin here in the chat.
Oh, very good.
So that the attendees can click on the name to follow Karin as well as your profile, of course. And if you're interested in the recording of the call, I've also added it here in the chat. And of course, we have more calls to come. So here again, we have a list of all community calls, which will be presented the next weeks and months. Click simply on the list and register for the call you're interested in. And there are no questions so far. So I would say thank you very much for the presentation. It was a pleasure having you. And yeah, so stay tuned in the community, and I hope we will see each other again, everyone, virtually. And thank you, Mahin.
You're very welcome. It was also a pleasure for me to be in this session and give some insight about this helpful tool. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you. Bye-bye.